Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you all. I hope you're all safe from the fires and your family and friends in the surrounding areas. It's been an awful week for California. We never do anything halfway out here. We can't just have a small conflagration. It has to be Dante's Inferno. Everything has to burn because California is not a state. It's an Acts of God theme park. And I get to do that every day, go in and talk about it, but I'm happy to talk to you. I have so much respect for broadcast engineers. Those of us that are on TV have no idea what you do. You're the geniuses in the basement, and every time there's a problem, we call you and just pray to God you know what you're doing. And you make things work. And anymore, it's all so complicated. We have a totally automated television station now. There are no cameramen, there's no sound person, there's no lighting director. They hit the Fritz button, and camera 4 aims at the chroma key. My microphone comes on, my complimentary fuzzy lighting comes on, and it takes nobody. It goes, the TV goes bang, and that's the end of it. But how all that happens is mind-blowing for me. So I thank you on behalf of those of us who are not smart enough to do what you do. We stand in front of the camera and fake our way through our presentations every night. Christmas Eve, no you can't. Christmas Eve, I will be celebrating my 35th anniversary as the Weatherman at Channel 4. It's a miracle that anybody could extract a paycheck for 35 years being a weatherman in a town with no ongoing weather. It is the greatest scam ever perpetrated on show business. We've had the same weather since the Paleolithic era in California, and every day I have to show up in a nice suit and stand in front of that green screen going, as you can see here, morning clouds and fog, hazy afternoon sun. What a surprise. Back to you, Chuck and Colin. 35 years. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that those of us who are not considered eye candy even survive the transition to high definition. When we went HD, even my family who loves me went, get the kids away from the TV. 35 years. LA needs a weatherman like atheists need a pope. There's literally no reason. But 35 years, and honestly, the older I get, the more blessed I feel. I'm sorry you're getting the really good view of me back here. I sat behind a weatherman with no butt for 15 minutes. It was unbelievable. But I feel old just talking about it. I know I'm getting old because on my satellite map, my gray hair is starting to blend in with the cloud cover. It's tough to tell where my head stops and the marine layer starts. And it's getting cloudier every day. Every day, something reminds you you're getting on in years, just so you don't forget, which is the topic of my discussion this evening. Something for you to think about over the holidays. Bless you. You're getting old. Every morning you get up and you realize, as you put your socks on, that you still have dents in your ankles from wearing socks the day before. Your skin is so old, it would like to return to its original shape, but can't remember what it is. Your old skin has developed short-term memory loss. You go to the grocery store, you start picking out your breakfast cereal from the far end of the cereal aisle, down there near the Kellogg's, blueberries, and gravel. Because you get to a certain age when you need your breakfast food to be a little more interactive. If it's not crunchy enough to chip a tooth, probably not doing its job. So you better get 3 or 4 boxes of the Kashi Go Lean, whole grain, gastrointestinal depth charge with honey oat clusters. It's like putting 2% milk on cat litter. I can tell you the first day I began to feel like a senior citizen. When I got that first piece of mail from AARP. Dear Mr. Coleman, it's come to our attention you've recently slipped into the final chapter of your life. You're now officially a senior citizen. From now on, you'll eat dinner at Hometown Buffet at 4:30 in the afternoon. The enclosed coupon is worth 25% off on a scooter chair. When you reach a certain age, I don't know what the exact age is, but as soon as I got that letter from AARP, then there was an onslaught of junk mail aimed at people of my particular demographic. Have you ever gotten a letter from the Neptune Society?
Oh, yeah.
The first, for those one or two people that don't know, the Neptune Society is this organization that after you pass to the other side, they will dispose of you at sea for a very hefty fee. So the first time I got a letter from the Neptune Society, I opened the mailbox, and here's this odd letter with this odd logo in the upper left-hand corner. It's got a picture of Neptune, the god of the sea, and he's wearing a sailor hat, holding an urn. And I thought, there's nothing this letter can say that I'm interested in. Out of the mailbox, into the trash. Next time I got a letter from the Neptune Society, I thought, what the heck, I'll open it. Maybe there's a coupon. That's another sign you're getting up there, you like a nice coupon. So I opened this letter from the Neptune Society, and it's got a description of all the various packages you can participate in from the Neptune Society, from the most expensive to the least expensive. The most expensive package was the Gabriel's Trumpet package, $5,000. They take you out on a 60-foot boat. They have a chaplain, a videographer, a champagne toast, recorded music. You bring all your family and friends. After they throw you overboard, they throw a wreath of roses in the water after you. $5,000. All the way down to the least expensive package called Job's Solitary Send-Off. Where for $159.95, somebody stands on the end of Santa Monica Pier and gently cranks your ashes out of a pepper mill. I signed up for that one, just because I wanted my family to have that experience. Every day, something reminds you you're getting old, just so you don't forget. We're all adults here, and so we can be real with one another. You're getting older when you have to visit doctors that you've never had to visit before. Men have to visit the urologist. Visiting the urologist is a rite of passage of men of a certain age. Our bat mitzvah. And it's so scary the first time you hear. Now, women have been violated by their physicians from a very young age. They're used to it. It doesn't happen to men till we're older, and it's more traumatic because we're less malleable, quite frankly. So the first time you go to the urologist, you're looking around, there's like 95-year-old men going, oh my God, this is a reunion of Civil War veterans. What the hell am I doing here? I was so freaked out the first time I went to the urologist. I'm sitting there nervously leafing through the December issue of American Prostate Magazine, saying to myself, I sure hope Dr. Weinstein is gentle. I've never met the man, yet in just a few short minutes, he's going to be spelunking in the Fritz cave. And all I really know about him is he got a 4 rubber glove rating on Yelp. Coincidentally, Yelp is the sound I'll be making during the examination. It's just sad what happens to men. We're all adults, we can talk about this now. Things occur. When you're a young man, your entire life is controlled from this area. All of your major decisions are made from this area. And then you become an old man. And your entire life is controlled from this area. All of your major decisions are made from this area, but for a completely different reason. When you're a young man, it's the bedroom. When you're an old man, it's the bathroom. But the symptoms are identical. You have strong urges. You have thoughts about doing it on the average once every 3.5 minutes. And when you're finished, if it's a really good one, you shiver. Age is not fun. Age is not fun. I'm sorry, but this is an opportunity toward the end of the year to purge your real feeling. It's ugly what happens. When you get old, you drink less, but you pee more. And even though you pee more, when you do pee, you pee less. And even though you pee less when you pee, it takes longer to pee. It ain't fun. I'm just purging because I'm amongst peers here and I'm comfortable with the people of your demographic. The rest of broadcasting is not, but I am. It's really interesting. And the truth is, you know, mathematically, statistically, I'm probably going to be really old because people in my family tend to live a long time, whether they deserve to or not. My mom lived to be 96 years old. And she was my hero. She attempted things that no 96-year-old person should ever attempt. Like corn on the cob. Now you would think when you make it to 96 that maybe corn on the cob would just be, well, a golden memory of youthful summers gone by. Not my mom. She was going to have corn on the cob at the barbecue. Not really eating the corn on the cob. Just kind of nursing the corn on the cob. When she was finished, the corn was still on the cob. But all the color was gone out of the kernels. My mom was my hero. My mom's hobby was going to Costco. She would go to Costco twice a week, whether she needed to or not, because she was an optimist. The definition of an optimist is a 96-year-old woman that goes into Costco and buys 8 one-quart jars of salad dressing at a time. I would say, Mom, why don't you just get, say, 2, and we'll see how it goes. God forbid something happens and the family's fighting over your salad dressing. And then we have to settle it in probate court, and the government takes 4 of your 8 quarts of salad dressing. Just get 2. But she was an optimist. That's how she lived to be 96 years old, honest to God. Always positive, always grateful. Just grateful to be alive. I would call her every day. 10 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock Florida time. That's where she lived. Vero Beach, Florida. This big retirement enclave in Florida. All the people from where I lived in Pennsylvania, when they retired, they moved to Florida. Thousands do it every year. The great Metamucil migration, where seniors gather up their personal belongings and head south to the promised land to live out their remaining years somewhere where the temperature never drops below their age. So I would call my mom at 10 o'clock every day, and she would start the conversation the same way because she was a positive thinker. She would say, "Are you grateful today, Fritz?" And I'd say, "Oh my God, I'm so grateful, Mom, because today I get to go to work, and for the 4,866th time, I get to say morning clouds and fog, hazy afternoon sun. What's not to be happy about? Why would I not be positive?" She said, "You have to be grateful, Fritz. You have to be grateful. You have to count your lucky stars." She would say, "When I look at my friend Florence Niedermeyer down at the end of the street with that irritable bowel syndrome, you know, they had to replace 7 feet of her intestine with 3/4-inch PVC pipe. Stop going to a gastroenterologist. Now she just calls a plumber." She was the most positive person I knew until she hit about 90. And then she got cranky. Not like my dad. My dad was cranky because he was my dad. My dad, the older he got, the less tolerant of other people he became. I bought him new hearing aids, and he wouldn't wear them. I said, Dad, how come you're not wearing your very expensive new hearing aids? He said, I'll tell you why. All they do is make the BS louder. He was just a generally cranky guy.
That's awesome.
But my mom got cranky, and you will appreciate this because you're in the business. What made her cranky about 90 was technology. She just felt like things were getting so complicated. I bought her all new appliances for a kitchen. They looked nice. She never once used her stove because she couldn't figure out how to do it. Had all the touch keypads. And look, you got to go look at my new stove. It's the digital thing. It's everything. It's all the internet. It's hooked up to the internet, my stove. And she would point to the kitchen, never use it. And she just felt like nothing made her feel older than technology. And the older I get, the more I feel exactly like my mom. I was shopping for a new car. And I don't care how much money you spend on a car. It can be an inexpensive car. It can be an expensive car. But all cars now have complicated electronic technology that will make your head explode. So I'm in the dealership and I'm sitting in the car and the salesman's next to me trying to explain to me how all this stuff works. Well, here's how you operate the holographic dashboard display. And you just flip this little switch down here for the voice-activated Bluetooth auto-dial phone system. I'm going, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, Joaquin. Listen to me, I learned to drive 50 years ago in a car that had a choke and a clutch and a big plastic knob to turn the steering wheel, and a picture of a naked lady on it. So there's going to be a learning curve with me. So let's start from the beginning and pretend you're explaining this to a golden retriever. And let me tell you something, Joaquin, there is no time when I'm ever going to want to start my car from inside my house with my phone. The next thing you know, my phone in my car will be talking about me behind my back. I don't want that. If they're going to make complicated electronic technology, why don't they make some that's functional for people of a certain age? How about the senior GPS that gently reminds you where you were going in the first place? Remember, we're stopping at the pharmacy. Oh, that's right, thank you. The senior GPS that repeats instructions louder if you don't hear them the first time. Turn right on Wilshire Boulevard. What did it say, honey? I said turn right on Wilshire. Oh, okay, thank you so much. The senior, listen, things that are functional for people of a certain age. I happen to be visually impaired. How about a bifocal windshield? How about an alarm that sounds when I doze off at a long stoplight? How about a seatbelt that monitors my vital signs while I'm driving? How about a super absorbent seat? Merry Christmas, everybody. Nice talking to you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Keep up the great work.
Fritz Coleman, weather.
Chris, thank you so much.